Welcome back. We're the Aussie Diamond Dodders. Today we're starting off with the first game of the season. Let's go straight into it.
So Nuggets taking home the W in that one, 119 to 107. What do we think of the performances there?
Yeah, great performance from the Nuggets, as per usual, taking off from last season, really, 50% from the floor. Jokic, another triple-double performance. Absolutely, yeah, like you said, proving what the haters wrong.
Yeah, 29 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. I think he had a block as well, so it's pretty good. I mean, if he keeps this up, the season's another MVP to his resume. Obviously, we haven't seen all the others play yet, but it's a very good start. They're looking to go back-to-back, I reckon.
Oh yeah,
Statement.
Definitely.
There's a statement over the Lakers.
Yeah, they're looking strong, right? Their starting lineup is great. KCP put up 20 points. I mean that doesn't happen often, but look at him. He's really improved his game over the offseason. Look at him.
Yeah, 20 points. I think I want to highlight Aaron Gordon. He was solid all around for them, almost like a baby Jokic did everything that Jokic sort of does. Racking up 15 points, 7 boards, 5 assists. He had 2 steals and a block, so he pretty much filled the whole stat sheet. I think that's a big key to their winning this season. If he steps up and keeps playing the way he's playing, especially because they lost Bruce Brown, so that's very key for him to do that.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely underrated them coming into the season because of the loss of Bruce Brown, a couple other players. So didn't think they were going to perform as well, but yeah, they just went out there, did their thing like it's the same team.
Yeah, Jamal Murray started off. I got to watch the whole game of this one. He started off struggling.
It was a bit shaky.
It was maybe like 7-8 points, but then came away with 21 at the end and 6 assists. So pretty much doing his job. He's fun to watch though.
Yeah,
Creates so much space. He's good. Obviously we got to give a lot of credit to the Nuggets and how they played. The third quarter was a bit shaky from them. The end of the second and the start of the third, they let the Lakers come back into it. They were up by 17 at one point, and then came back in the third quarter, and they were only up by 3. Obviously, they still got the win by 12, but it could have been a lot more. They put their foot off the gas, I think. But I think we should jump over and talk about the Lakers because yes, Nuggets they deserve all their flowers, but the Lakers they weren't too impressive, I don't think.
No, I mean. AD, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. It's a decent game, but...
That 17 came in the first half.
That was only in the first half.
He did not score a single bucket in the second half. And he only had 7 boards in the second half.
He played 34 minutes. And with that, he's got to put up more numbers than that, to be honest. He's not... It was a good game for the first half. It was close all around. And then they just come back and they locked him down. He also just had a crap second half, and then the Nuggets just fully took over and they went for it, man. And
then I wanted to say that in the first half he came out looking like the old Anthony Davis. He was aggressive. He was shooting his mid ranges. Yes, he maybe didn't make as many of them, but he was looking to score. That second half he went missing. And if the Lakers are going to be successful this year, it revolves around him. Big time, because obviously LeBron's massive part of the team, but with the minutes restriction that he's on, if you all don't know, he's on a 28 to 30 minutes restriction per game this season. So obviously their age is catching up to him. They're trying to protect him. They're hoping they can go into a playoff run. So with him getting limited minutes, AD really needs to step up, and we saw that with him not stepping up in the second half yesterday. That's ultimately why they lost the game.
Yeah, just inconsistency from all around. Really, he's had this problem in the past. We saw in the playoffs, game on, game off. So, yeah, it's sad to see that it's still continuing on into the season. Second half was just, absolutely shocking from him. But I think all around the Lakers, we saw a decent performance from the bench players at least.
Yeah.
Some of them really came out. Torian Prince. 4 threes, I think it was near the end of the
in his Lakers debut, he did
well.
Yeah,
his debut did a really good job.
So 4 for 6 from the 3.
From downtown,
He did a great job there. LeBron, of course, being LeBron with his limited minutes, he still facilitated the ball really well. I'd say every time I watched him, I was amazed by how well he's doing in year 21 now.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's the oldest
playing
player in
for
the
a
league.
while.
Mm.
Yeah, since what's his name?
Udonis
retired?
Haslem.
Haslem, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so LeBron 21, 8 boards, 5 assists. Look, he had to score himself. I don't expect him to get more assists than that in that game. He was still very aggressive when he was on there. I think he wants to play more minutes, but obviously protect his body at that age. 21 points. He performed really well. We won't talk about. Actually, we will. His first 3.
He's fit.
Oh.
Love that board.
Yeah.
That was.
I'm like, okay, he's confident, and straight backboard. I'm like, oh no.
I was contested, but God, that was shocking.
But he came back. He made a couple of N1s here and there, but a couple of the calls were so harsh on him. There was one where his arm got hacked at, and they didn't call anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, that wouldn't have changed the game at all. He's trying to do his best. I think I was talking about Anthony Davis needing to step up. I think D'Angelo Russell needs to step up. Look, 11 points, sure, whatever. 4 rebounds, 7 assists. So he's playmaking still, but he shot 33% from the field. He's playing big minutes, obviously, because LeBron isn't on that. Like, he's on that minute restriction, so D'Angelo's going to be playing a lot more. So he needs to up his game. Yes, it's first game. There's 82 games in the season, but if that's how he's going to be playing, I can't see the Lakers. Like, they might make the play-ins.
Yeah, the playoff run's not looking pretty based on that first game. Like I said, D'Lo, and that's with Taurean Prince having a good game. That's with him shooting 67% from 3. Like, that's not gonna happen every game. Yeah, D'Lo facilitating the ball. I mean, they've got hope. Lakers all around. But yeah, they've really got 18. D'Lo's got to step up, man. It's a bit rough, but look, yeah, coming back first game of the season versus the defending champs. Yeah, that's always tough. Not an easy matchup against the Nuggets, especially. But I mean, I can see them make a play-in. Playoffs, it'll be hard.
They have a lot to prove. I was gonna say, Anthony Davis, coming out of the first quarter, you could put a real case, if we're talking too early, as we always do, you could have put in a real case for Depoy, because he had those 2 blocks in the first quarter. I was like, oh, he might end up with 6 here. And then second half, Mans was just doing cardio.
Yeah.
Like, he was just running around. Yeah, he was grabbing boards, which is impressive because he had 1 rebound at halftime, which, like, why is Anthony Davis grabbing 1 rebound in a half?
As a 6'10" big man, you expect a lot more from him.
And he's athletic too. Like, he
gets
get
off.
up. Like, but no, everyone was hitting for the Nuggets, as you were saying.
Yeah.
Like, the KCP, I think Peyton Watson came in. We saw Reggie Jackson step on LeBron's foot and ankle broke him.
Yeah.
He hit the 3 though. Like, that's
clean.
respect. He hit the
clean.
3. Yes, he stepped on his foot, but he hit the 3. And he's coming back celebrating. They got their rings. They got the banner lifted. I think the ring was cool, but I've seen better designs. It wasn't amazing, but
no, they could have. I think that it was cool, but they definitely could have spent a bit more effort on it. I think like the color, it was cool, but just put more into it.
Back to the game as well. I know it's hard with LeBron off and only really Anthony Davis. I mean, they got Jackson Hayes, who comes off the bench and's all right. They didn't really seem to give Christian Wood too many minutes, which is interesting to me. Yeah, he's maybe not the best defender, but he can score, which would have been helpful. I think he had 7 in like 10 minutes, so that's pretty good. But I know it's hard. You can't exactly guard Jokic, but they need to work on their boxing out of
I
think big man, because there was so many times where the ball was chucked up, Jokic grabs it and just goes straight to the way.
He's basically just stat padding at that point.
I was watching the replays at halftime as well, and I think there was a switch, and I think it was Austin Reeves was guarding Jokic, and Jokic just had his way. No one came to help. Why is there no help defense? Like, why is a 6'5" guy guarding a 7-foot man?
That's where Anthony Davis should be coming in.
Yeah, like, even help defense. Get the ball out of Jokic's hands. The others were hitting, but
you got to give him that chance. Just getting an easy 2 like that. That's a wasted opportunity. Exactly.
I gotta say though, Jokic, for someone who's not athletic, his little hooks, he's just little they're overpowered, man. Like, no one can guard that.
You can't guard because you can't block it. And then if you get in his shooting space, it's just a foul. You can't. There's no way stopping that unless you've got AD getting up extremely high and just doing that. But
He can block them.
he
He
can.
definitely can.
Yeah,
But
his
it's just,
wingspan's crazy long.
yeah,
But
exactly.
it-
He chooses not to.
Yeah.
Like, he should, especially the second. The
They-
amount of rebounds I saw him give up.
Yeah.
To Jokic, especially, he was just so
Mm.
Yeah, I think more needs to be done on the Lakers end if they want to make, obviously first game, but if they want to make the playoffs, they do need a big jump in performance. Because obviously LeBron's not going to be there.
The
long
whole
term.
game. All
He
year.
will probably load management will probably kick in at some stage. Not that they're allowed to this year because of the new rules, but look, it's tough. It's tough. They got to be more aggressive at Jokic. I think he had 3 early fouls by the end of the second, and then they just weren't attacking him. And it's like you got to go at that because, like, if Jokic was to foul out, get in foul trouble, that's so much easier to guard than having him with the ball. And
yeah, you've got a chance like that. You've got to attack it. You know, you can't just be leaving it like that because, like I say, 3 fouls. One more, dude. He's in serious trouble. He's gonna have to stay out for at least half a quarter, and then that's where you go on a run because you know their offense and their D is just not great without Jokic because he's their main man.
Yeah. Look, a lot can change in the season as well. I think, obviously, we're talking too soon. It's first game. We're reacting off first game, so we don't know. But the Lakers do need some help. They need a trade for a guy. People can become available during the season, but who do they trade for? That's the thing. They need someone that can spark it off the bench, but they need someone that can also be in that starting unit for when LeBron's out, right? But who do they give up? Who's an asset that they're willing to give up? D'Angelo, but like
No, but he's their main point guard. Like,
exactly.
who else are you giving up? Like,
You know what I mean? So
they're in a tough situation.
obviously we'll see how the season progresses. They could turn around, as we said, first game. They had Cam Reddish who didn't play at all last season for the Knicks. Basically, came in. He played some solid defense. He's a very good defender, I think. But I think that if they need more scoring, they need to find more minutes for Christian Wood. He's shown as a big man, he's a good scorer.
I think when it comes back to the trade situation, if you were to trade someone, I think although D'Lo is the main point guard, you've always got LeBron's bringing up the ball most of the time when he's on the floor. But again, he's got the minutes restriction. So and then get rid of D'Lo, and then who's the backup really?
Yeah, that's it.
So I mean, you sort of need him. I guess if you were to trade D'Lo, you'd need to trade for another guard.
Yeah.
At the least, but
just got to see who becomes available at that point.
See who becomes available. I mean, it's pretty unrealistic beforehand, but if they got Damian Lillard,
oh yeah,
that would have been
that
raps. That would have been
wow.
raps. But moving on to the next game, we've got the Suns versus the Warriors. We had 108, 104. Suns winning. So performance there. Devin Booker came out, did his thing.
So 32 first
32
game.
points.
He had like 16 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
No one can guard him. Although Curry played good defense on that fadeaway he had, which was one of his first shots. That was good defense. He just smothered him a bit too much. Because Booker kicked his leg out, but if Curry steps back, no foul. He makes a shot, tough shot. But Booker was crazy. I mean, we kind of expected that, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a pure scorer. Right?
He's a passer now too, 8 assists.
8 assists, because he's got KD, and Bradley Beal didn't play yesterday, actually, did he?
No, he's injured. I mean, that dude's always injury prone. So
yeah, but imagine Bradley Beal coming back. How are you gonna defend 3 pure scorers?
Just another scorer, you get buckets at least 20.
Yeah, that's another 20 points.
I think for the Suns as well, I think Nurkic played a really good game.
He did.
He had I think it was 12 and 10.
Yeah, he
12
and 11.
Yeah,
or
something like that. He looked good. He just fits what they want to do. He's a big man, boxes out, grab your boards, scores.
When he needs to shoot the 3-pointer as well, he will shoot it. He went, I think it was 1 for 2 or 1 for 3 yesterday from downtown. So he creates space, and he fits in really well. DeAndre Ayton did similar stuff, but he wasn't really gelling with the whole team.
Well, he made it clear he didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to keep you around. But no, I think Nurkic is solid. He's a bit older, more mature. So I think this Suns team can go far. Obviously, when Bill gets back too. KD, he struggled a bit. He had 18 points, still pretty good.
11 boards though.
Yeah, 11 boards. He was
11 boards,
rebounding
yeah.
for KD. He's like obviously he's 7 foot. You
Yeah,
expect him to
he's
get
not.
boards, but he's not always been a guy that's.
Just aggressive on the rebounding side of it.
Oh, we
you know.
forgot to mention it was his return to the Bay as well. First time being
Oh,
back in
that's
the Bay
true.
because he
Yeah.
and played. They were very like welcoming to him. I was
Yeah.
not expecting that. They were very kind to him. I mean, he brought him 2 championships, so you kind of have to be, right? But
Yeah. He wasn't there long enough, I feel like, to annoy anyone.
yeah,
He won the championships and then he left.
Yeah, he didn't make any hard enemies or per se. You know, like there
was a
wasn't.
Draymond incident, but that
it
was
was-
about it, really.
Yeah, and that's just Draymond being Draymond. He bloody Superman punched Jordan Poole for crying.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's it. The one thing I want to highlight so I only watched the first 2 quarters. The one thing I want to highlight is that scares me with the Suns is their bench depth. They put together 23 points, which like it's okay, but they don't have a guy that they can go to off the bench. I think when Bradley Beal comes back, you're not bringing him off the bench, but you're going to fit him into a role that can run that second unit. Because Eric Gordon running that, he had 10 points, sure, but it looked a bit dodgy off there.
He's just a corner specialist, Eric Gordon.
Yeah,
That's what he should be. But he's
should.
being made to do more because their bench is just not all that.
But that's not him. But Bol didn't play yesterday as well. You know,
Yeah.
you've got Bol.
I'm waiting for him to come back.
He can put up 10 points maybe.
Couple boards.
Yeah, a couple boards, maybe assists,
Rebounding for him.
depending on his minutes. But yeah, they don't have that real good role player that will come off the bench and do it for them like you know, like a Torian Prince would. You know, it comes down. Their depth is not the best. But yeah, first game back. You know, they've still got work to do. Still got to gel, especially with all their scorers. They got to work something out with their bench. Bol coming back, you know, could do something. But yeah, it's looking alright for the Suns. I think they can make the playoffs.
I think they will because their scorers highlight their team so much that they'll bring them in. But I mean, it helps when that Josh Okogie, he dropped 17 points, so that's helpful. Grayson Allen still finding his feet, 0 points, 0 for 6 from the field. Probably played all right defense, but that's Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
Look, he'll pick it up. He'll find his way. Not the biggest fan of him, but
No, especially.
I think the Suns will go well. But I mean, they played it when I was watching the first quarter. Their pace was like matching the Warriors, which is very, very hard to do because we all know the Warriors play at such a fast pace. But they were like flying up and down the court, which I think is something they need to do with the scorers they have. They need to outrun teams and push the pace a bit more.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because we've seen that. I mean, you look at the Warriors; they went on a crazy third quarter run that brought them back in, scoring 40, and I think the Suns only had like 23 or something. So that brought them back in. But it's probably again because their bench and they put their foot off the gas a bit. So they need to keep the pace up. I think their game style should be play fast if they can.
But try and match the other team's pace and even go further, go beyond. Because like I said, the scorers, they play fast. They're gonna come up like spark it. You know, they've got 3 different options. Most teams aren't gonna have 3 different perimeter and interior defenders that are just gonna stop them. You know, play fast, play to your strengths, and you know, Suns gonna make a decent run this year.
Yeah, I think they'll do well. They'll do well, but that bench is scary.
Yeah.
The bench is just a bit too weak at the moment. I think come playoff time will be very interesting to see how they use the rotation, whether they give more minutes to the star players, which naturally does happen. But you know, all it takes is one of them to have a bad game, and then that lack of depth is going to be a real problem.
Yeah, that's it. Or an injury. We've seen Bradley Beal's injury prone.
KD could get injured very easily.
Booker's like here and there, but yeah, we know KD can become injured. Let's move on to the Warriors. Look, rough start for CP3's debut.
Oh, Curry's percentages.
Look, that's okay, but I think first game they're still gelling. There's a lot of new pieces. They lost a lot of pieces. CP3, he did his thing. He shot terrible from the field, right?
Yeah.
I saw this interview. They were like, "Oh, how do you feel after shooting like 33% from the field?" And he's like, "I'm not too worried because remember that Houston team that missed 27 threes straight."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll find his feet. He still had 14. 9 assists, so near double-double. He had 6 rebounds too, which was pretty good for his debut. But yeah, he needs to. I think the Warriors in total shot 35% from the field.
Yeah, you've got to up those numbers if you really want to contest it. Their shooting was off. First game of the season, you can't blame them.
Being that big of a shooting team, they're not going to always hit.
No.
Curry still had 27, shot poorly, but still had 27.
Yeah.
But the one thing I didn't like was the 1 assist for Curry. The way CP3 is playing, right, they're pretty much bringing him off early in the first because they're starting him while Draymond's out.
Yeah.
And he's running that second unit.
Exactly.
So I think when he's off, Curry needs the ball in his hand and needs to be playmaking a bit more. 1 assist is not going to cut it.
Definitely.
I do expect minimal assists from Curry now that CP3 is playing, but for the period that Draymond's out, I do expect Curry to get not that many assists because CP like 9 assists. He's going to get all of them.
I don't expect Clay to have more assists than Curry.
No, that's a good point. Now 3 assists for Clay, like especially that he's just that catch and shoot, just pull from anywhere.
Yeah, he's normally like, if I've got the ball, I'm shooting.
I'm shooting. Exactly. That's his first instinct.
So 3 assists for him is pretty good. That's why I think Curry needs to up the passing a bit.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm happy to just chalk this down as a bad game, really. I mean, 27 points is still good, but rest of his stats and the shooting as well.
It was crazy. We chalk it down as a bad game. They shot 35% from the field, and they only lost by 4.
I was going to mention that as well, just by 4 against the Suns team. That's a good team. They got good scorers. So.
Yeah, it's not even like a low-scoring game. They still put up 104 points as well on that.
On 35%.
On 35%.
That's crazy.
That's wow. They've got a scoring team. Kuminga as well. How many did
12 points and 6 boards.
Wow.
He struggled at the start, but he found his
feet
in the second half. I expect him to be a guy that averages at least 11 this season.
Yeah, I think double digits should be it. And then grabbing those boards, I reckon he'll dish out a couple of assists as well. He's just an all-round great player. He's got athleticism. He can shoot the ball. I've noticed he worked on a bit of playmaking. He can definitely dishing the ball out a bit more.
Well, they're getting him to bring the ball up the court a lot. And he's like sort of running the offense. I mean, it's helpful for, say, CP gets injured, he can run that point forward. Like a Draymond type of thing.
Yeah, like if Draymond's not there or CP, they've got Curry or Kuminga now.
Exactly.
It's his second, third year now. He's got a bright future ahead of him. I can't wait to see where he goes.
I mean, so you, mate.
No, I was gonna say he's really settling into the system, the Warriors system, because it's fast paced. Everyone seems to bring up the ball, like that's what they try to do at least, and of course the perimeter shooting.
He can shoot the 3 now.
He can. He's working on that.
He's definitely fitting in with all the other players as well, so it's good to see that from him.
It's good to see their young guys in him and Moody. Moody got good minutes, dropped 11 points. He had a couple of steals, and there was one where I think it was Gary Payton pickpocketed someone from behind, threw it to Moody, and he made a contact layup. And I'm like, that's good to see. These young guys are going to be the next step after Curry and Clay. And because obviously, again, we've seen the reports that Clay is most likely going to be a free agent because his asking price is quite high.
Yeah.
Depending on what LeBron does, Clay might go to LA.
I would like to see that.
That would be interesting.
Has always expressed his interest in being there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Clay with 15 points as well. Like, it's good. Obviously, his shooting wasn't great. But the highlight for me was the bench putting up 31 points. Obviously, almost outscoring the Suns bench by 10. I think that's good. They've got a second unit that can come in and score for when Clay's not there, for when Curry's not there. I think that's a pretty good sign to see.
Now, I've got a question. Who are you putting at the 6 men, CP3 or Draymond? Because I don't think you can start them both.
I think it's got to be CP to run that second unit. Draymond's too good and has been in the system for so long with Curry and Clay that he just makes them better. I think CP, like they could just try it when Draymond's back and see how it goes. Probably run there, give CP the first 3-4 minutes, take him off, let him run that second unit and a bit with the starters. But I think, for me, I'd have him run that 6-man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Draymond's just gelling with Steph and Clay is through the roof. CP3, he's going to find his feet. He'll get there eventually. it's just a matter of time, during the season whether he gels that much better than Draymond, and then they can decide. But yeah, I think it's going to be CP off the bench, but it's a great backup point guard, right?
It is.
That the bench is. It's looking good for the Warriors. They can have another good season despite the loss against the Suns.
The first game we chalked it down as a bad shooting game. I still stick to my prediction that they're going to make the finals. I have a big feeling.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I have a big feeling they're just like we saw Curry 27 on bad shooting.
Yeah.
Look, that is a hot take for MVP. I know you don't like it, Sam, but
yeah,
27 on bad shooting. If he hits more of his threes or whatever, that's easy 35.
I disagree. I like Steph, but I doubt Warriors are making the finals, man. That's me. I think honestly the Suns will make the finals because yeah, he put up 27 with bad shooting, but then that's gonna equal out with Bradley Beal. Right, you bring Bradley Beal back in, and it's a different game.
I get where you're coming from, but if we scroll back to last potty, I'm pretty sure a man in the middle there said the Suns are gonna choke in the playoffs. And now you're saying after one game, they're going to make the
finals. Game though, and that's without Bradley Beal.
That's without Bradley Beal, and they almost blew a 20-point lead. They only won by 4.
They didn't. They didn't, did they?
But they almost did.
But they didn't.
To a bad shooting team.
Yeah, I mean,
so they're only going to get so far, man. They're only going to get so far.
Unless they could have a good second half of the season, which will set them up for the playoffs. But I think they need a guy off the bench.
A couple of trades even.
Yeah.
If they can just get that bench stuff.
Yeah, no, it'll be. Look, yes, I've made so many accusations dating.
Hey,
now.
that's what we're here for.
Well, that's what
we're here for.
The takes.
I just want to say as well. I don't know if you guys saw, but what do we think of the All-Star format? They're going back to East versus West. They're scrapping the draft and going back to East versus West.
I like that.
I think it's good, but I like the banter that the draft brought. Because we saw Giannis pick Dame, and look, they're on the same team now. There's a bit of tampering going on, but it's quite funny. Like that year where Harden wanted out of Brooklyn, and he was picked dead last. That was funny.
Yeah, that was.
But East versus West, will it make it a bit more competitive? Because they're like, hey, I want to show that East is better. I want to show that the West is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has that incentive behind it. I always preferred East versus West, except for the first year when the draft was in. I think it was a good change. I liked it.
I think maybe year on, year off. That'd be interesting.
A mix would be good. I don't know how they would incorporate that, but yeah, some sort of mix. Maybe players that were traded halfway through the season or something like that. Maybe like Dame going from West to East. Maybe he can go on either one. Not too sure, but some sort of format to mix them both up, because the draft it was good fun, and East and West has always been since the history of the NBA.
Yeah, they kind of need to bring that in.
Yeah, they need.
It's good for them. Look, we've got a bunch of games on now, so we're probably going to wrap it up here, unless you all got anything else to say.
No, I think.
So we're going to go check up on the scores. Day 2 of the NBA. No Philly game today for me, unfortunate. They're playing tomorrow against the Bucks. We know that Harden's not playing. He returned to the team. They said, please don't travel with us. So, look, they need to get him off the team ASAP. But versing the Bucks will be a tough game.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this season plays out. We've got Victor's debut today, which we've got to go catch up on. I saw highlights that Zion's already caught a body. Cam Thomas is cooking at halftime with 24 points. So we're going to go catch up on that, and we'll be back for our weekly episode next week. So we hope you all enjoyed. If you all want to take it out.
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next week.
See you then.
See you later.